There we go, and I am live and reading out my various I am live messages. We'll be starting in the usual 5 minutes. Oops. My chat box is too wide. How did that happen? There we go. Oh, I'm gonna have to resize the chat box again when we go over to the Loom window because there's, disparities. Disparities all over the place. I cannot keep consistent sizing between UI elements. But it's fine. It's cool. It's alright. I will be doing my best to present this game in a cool and good fashion, which may or may not actually happen as I forget everything I'm doing. But I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna work this out. We're gonna have some Loom here tonight. By golly. Oh, hello. Hello, Saria. Hello, Kupo. And it's a pleasure to see both of you. I just got a notification that I am, in fact, live on Twitch. Like, in case I wasn't aware of that. In the event that I was not actually aware that I was live on Twitch, my phone tells me I'm not dead on Twitch. Well, that remains to be seen. Believe me, a lot could go wrong here. I'm doing kind of a complex thing. I'll be switching between, like, browser windows, and I'll be popping stuff up during the stream because I want to show off the artwork from the included spellbook. But I think I've got everything under control. And everything is fine. Nothing is ruined. Oh, I forgot to actually bring the game window up in the background, though. I think we might need that. I think at some point we're going to need a video game here to be played. Yeah, I might need that. It's possible. Hopefully you're all well and good and not on fire or dead or burnt or, whatever. Quitting Discord, quitting that. There we go. But as usual for people watching on YouTube, you can skip a few minutes ahead, except that, I'm gonna be talking for quite a while here because I've got a lot of prologue text to read and stuff. And that's gonna be, important. And it's also gonna need a content warning, which I've typed up on the other screen. Oh boy, that's definitely gonna need a cut. Okay, but we'll work that out when we get to it. For now, I'm just letting people filter in, and we'll start at 8:15 here. Hey, Kupo, other Kupo. Yeah, we're collecting Kupos. There's just a big stack of them. Come and join our Kupo parade. Hello, Whittles. Let's see. I can't think of much else to say beyond the content warning, I can't believe you fell for Moogle Man. I loved the Muppet Man sequence in the recent Muppet movies. They never did that before or since, but yeah, sure, join the It is not required that you actually be a Koopo to get in the Koopo parade, although you may become a Koopo later on. I certainly did. Alright, I'm just gonna toggle over to the Loom screen to, prepare us all. Yeah. I thought I would have to do that. I gotta re-widen the... There we go. Re-widen the chat box. So you'll notice it's conspicuously blank for the moment. And that's on expand chat. Bum, bum, dun, 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 dun. Okay. That's because what we're talking about first is the tape stuff. Loom came with an audio tape, an audio cassette with a 30-minute prologue on it. When I was a kid, I listened to this exactly once, and then I discarded it for being boring. And it turns out this was a dumbass move. Because, in fact, the Loom backstory is kind of fantastically messed up. See, I have been thinking of Loom as this nice child... We'll get to it. We'll get to this, believe me. As this nice child-friendly game with some, cute puzzles, etc. And the backstory goes hardcore, guys. So I'm going to read from a transcript because I don't want to play the actual cassette tape because I don't know if I'm going to get, the YouTube police crawling up my butthole and setting up residence there. I don't want YouTube police in my butthole. Nobody does. So let me see if this works. If this browser thing works. Yeah, good. Okay. So I'm going to read the opening narration brick, and then I'm going to skim through and summarize the story from there. It was not long after the passing of the Second Shadow, when dragons ruled the twilight sky, or the Twilight Force, and the stars were bright and numerous, that humankind began to thirst again for dominion over nature. As they do. Their weapon was industry, and they wielded it with confidence. One by one, the mysteries of light and darkness fell before the engines of progress. Whole nations came to believe that nothing lay beyond the power of their own arrogance. Competition was fierce in those productive days. Skilled labor became a valuable commodity, and so the tradespeople of the land banded themselves together to promote their common interest and to protect their secrets. These professional societies swelled in power as their membership grew. A few, such as the blacksmiths and the clerics, acquired vast territories, with private armies to defend them. Thus began the age of the great guilds. Or, what unionization can do for you. Vast city-states devoted to the absolute control of knowledge, held together by stern traditions of pride and of fear. Within the span of a few lifetimes, the commerce of the world was in their hands, but not all of them were equally ambitious. The spinners of thread and weavers of fabric wished only to pursue their labor without interference. They did not involve themselves in the politics of the day, and left the administration of taxes and wars to others. Though the Guild of Weavers never attained the prominence of the shepherds or the glassmakers, their number was small, for their strict rules forbade membership to any but the child of a member. Marriage outside the guild was discouraged and eventually outlawed. Outsiders regarded the weavers' ingrown society with distaste. Yet their customs were not without benefit. The natural talents of their memberships were nurtured and purified generation after generation, until the greatest among them wove fabrics of such extraordinary beauty that the whole world wondered at their achievements. Goods bearing the seal of the guild demanded a premium price, and the weavers amassed considerable wealth in this period, which they quietly hoarded. So, at this point, the Guild of Weavers becomes incredibly inbred and incredibly skilled, which I'm not sure follows, but hey, it's not my story. Now, you did not miss the prologue. Is the sidebar cutting... No. Okay, good. The sidebar is not cutting off. Like the other guild, the Weavers had evolved a philosophy of living based on the tools and terminology of their handiwork. They beheld in their great frames of wood and metal a symbol of universal truth, and found ways to work subtle patterns of influence into the fabrics they wove. The cloth of the guild soon became known for virtues other than mere beauty. Certain weavers seemed to possess remarkable powers of healing, others held a charm against ill fortune. In the fullness of time, the art of the weavers transcended the limits of physical cloth. They abandoned the flax and dyes of their ancestors to wield the very stuff of light and music, and spun new patterns directly in the fabric of reality. The ignorant looked upon these works with fear and called them witchcraft. Many of the guild were persecuted, a few were hanged. To protect their heritage, the weavers expended a fraction of their wealth to purchase a rocky island off the main coast. They packed up their spindles and skeins and shutters, and retreated from the company of man to refine their arts in solitude. Many wars and plagues followed. Mighty guilds fell into ruin, others rose to surpass them. The exhausted world all but forgot the humble guild of weavers, and few found reason to visit their home, an island of mystery shrouded in perpetual mist, shunned by sailors, which ancient maps called LOOM. So, this is the backstory here. And it explains a lot that I wondered about in game itself. But this is not the only backstory. That was simply the backstory of the guild. We're going to skim a little bit. In the next bit, we're introduced to Signa and Hetchel, who are a midwife and a young woman, not in that order, and the local guild. Signa is angry at the Council of Weavers because, I quote, "Our seed is barren, Elder Clothos. We have lived under the rules of membership too long. Most of our children are born dead. Many that survive are monsters beyond hope. Our numbers are failing, less than a score of us remain, and all in the name of rules written in ignorance, obsolete 1,000 years. So, Signa here is upset because the weavers are inbreeding themselves to death. Remember that this is what I considered a cute game when I was a kid? I never really listened to the backstory. Anyway, Signa wants them to use the loom, their great loom, which weaves the fabric of reality, to fix their bloodline, to make things right again. But the elders won't, because, at this point, it is true, the great loom holds the power you seek. It is also true that our ancestors wielded this power freely. It may be that they understood the pattern better than we, or perhaps the threads were easier to grasp in those simpler times. It does not matter. We dare not tamper with the pattern now. Its subtleties have passed beyond our understanding. It is all we can do to observe our destiny and its fulfillment." So, right now they're like the Twitter staff. There is nobody there left who actually understands how what they're doing works, and it's slowly breaking down and failing. So that's part one. In part two, Signa sneaks into the Hall of the Great Loom and inserts a single gray thread into the pattern, because she figures, no one will notice a single gray thread. And the thread weaves, and out comes a human baby from the loom. Now, obviously, this is some shit with which the elders will not put. "Lady Signa, you are guilty of treason against the guild. You have breached the sanctity of the loom and compromised the fulfillment of the pattern to indulge your own selfish desires in direct defiance of the elders. You are henceforth and forever outcast from the Guild of Weavers. You shall neither behold this child nor set foot upon this island again from now until the end of your days, and you will wander the skies in perpetual solitude. Your mournful cry shall be a lesson to all who would defy their destiny." And so they turn her into a swan, and she flies away. This may be a good time to mention that Loom heavily uses the music of Swan Lake. I personally have never seen Swan Lake, but I have watched Princess Tutu, and that's probably close enough. No, I am kidding. I've seen some stuff based on Swan Lake, but, So, they now have a human child who has come from the womb rather than the loom. Come from the loom rather than the womb. Wow, that was a critical thing to get messed up on. Thanks, brain. It was decreed that the child should be raised outside the ways of the guild until his coming of 17 years hence, when his future would be decided by the High Council. The old serving woman Hetchel agreed to raise the loom child as her own. She named the little boy Bobbin. And then Hetchel shows young Bobbin his birthday present on one of his birthdays. And his birthday present is that for a few minutes every year, his mother, the swan, can afford to fly close enough to the island to be seen by him, but she can't see him. And he doesn't know that she's his mother. He just thinks, oh, hey, my birthday present every year is I get to watch a swan. What a great birthday. And then part 3. Bobbin grows up. Bobbin does not go to school. The elders of the guild will not permit it. The other children were told he was a half-wit, and they taunted him with terrible cruelty, throwing stones if he came too near. And so the friendless boy spent his days in solitude, combing the beach for sticks of firewood and exploring the hills and forests of the Weaver's little island, until no one knew them better than he. This explains a lot about Bobbin in the game. He's a rather acerbic little shit, and, if he's never had a friend in his entire life, it kind of explains why. Anyway, at that point, Bobbin grows up a bit. Hetchel attempts to teach him some weaving in private. It goes wrong. And Bobbin climbs up the mountain to watch for the swan on his 17th birthday. And that is where the game starts. We've successfully covered the tape stuff. There will be another appearance by this browser window later, because there is some stuff I want to show off during the game. But right now, let's actually get to the game, huh? I'm gonna go ahead and try to launch Scum VM without this, going all to hell. That took about 10 minutes to actually cover. I'm glad we got through that in a reasonable time. Let's see. Alright, just gonna... Can I pop this up now? Yeah. Loom has 3 difficulty levels. There's standard, there's practice, and there's expert. I forget what practice even is. Expert doesn't show the notes that you have to play, but standard does, and I simply play on standard. There is a small bonus scene if you play on expert. I'll cover that when we get to it. But for now, let's actually start playing the video game. Let's play Loom. Can everybody hear this? A little soft. I'm gonna nudge it up just a tiny bit. Nudge myself up a tiny bit to compensate. How's this? Rise, son of Cigna. It is the dawn of your 17th year. Very close. One moment. Alright, I'm gonna nudge myself just a little back down. I am sent by the elders to summon you. The High Council awaits your presence in the sanctuary. A messenger nymph! Never seen one so bright before. One of the elders must have woven it. Better get down to the village. So, meet Bobbin. Come over here, Bobbin. Okay, don't come over here. Loom's interface is very minimalistic. Yeah, these are EGA. These are 16-color EGA. And the fact that these are 16-color amazes me. The dithering is a little much, but it would have looked better on a CRT. Anyway, the interface for Loom is very minimalistic. Dawn. You can click on things, and then click on the portrait of the thing to see them a little better. Or interact with them. Last leaf of the year. So let's get down to the village. There is a 256-color VGA version of this on CD-ROM. I like the EGA version better, and It's my stream, so I'm going with that. There's a lot to explore on Mist Island. No, on Loom Island. But right now, let's head straight to the hall because it's kind of important. We were summoned, and therefore we come. So into the Great Hall tent. Big tent. A very big tent. And we can check out these sections of the of tapestries. This is a section of the long tapestry. The threads describe the creation of the world and the passage of the two shadows. I have a great deal of water here because I will be doing a lot of reading through the course of this game. I may have to go get more. Here's another section of the long tapestry. The pattern shows the rise of the guilds and the story of the Weaver's founding. We just read that. I just read that to you guys. And the third piece of the pattern. This is the last section of the long tapestry. It illustrates the decline of the guilds and the gathering of a third shadow. Odd, the end of this tapestry is torn completely off. Which isn't ominous or anything. Let's carry on to our meeting. Looks as if the elders are busy. Wouldn't want to interrupt. You have heard the findings of the High Council, Dame Hetchel. What have you to say in your defense? I have no defense or excuses, Elder Atropos. My actions speak for themselves. I think based on the clipping that I'm seeing on my audio input, I'm going to nudge my own voice back down a little bit. I think I might have gotten a little too loud there. Apologies. No defense? Not the slightest remorse. This reckless defiance is intolerable. Why do you disobey us, Hetchel? The game could be turned up more. You know what? Let me, I'm gonna go ahead and, bump it up just a bit more. Just a bit more. And nudge myself. There we go. Okay, I think I shouldn't be redlining. There. Yeah, natural voice doesn't redline there. Alright, I've nudged the game up a bit more. It's just very quiet. I don't know. The Sound Blaster music is very quiet. You have always upheld the rules of membership to the letter. Tell us what is in your heart. The boy must be told the truth about his birth, Elder Clothos. His talent awakens. Soon he will wield the power of weaving, whether we choose to guide him or not. We dare not desert Bobbin now. Stubborn old fool. The secrets you reveal to Cygnus' son may be turned against us. That is why his free training was forbidden by this council. Enough, Lachesis. We need not explain our decisions. It grieves me to see your many years of faithful service end in this disgrace. But the wisdom of the elders may not be questioned. That is the final rule of membership. Another one of your students, Lady Signa, learned this terrible price of defiance in this very chamber 17 years ago. Better you had heeded that lesson. My destiny is in your hands, elders. Our hands are empty, Hetchel. That's a lie. Gaze once more upon the great loom if you would know your destiny. For behold, that destiny is upon you. A swan's egg. Curious destiny. That draft has never failed before. Hark! I heard a cry outside. The guild is under attack. Who dares desecrate the loom of the weavers? This is the work of the demon boy. Kill it while you still can, Atropos. Cursed forever be the name of Cygna's son, the loom child, Bobbin Threadbare. And so, all the weavers are turned into swans, and they sort of fuck off into a hole in the sky. Honestly, I think that the actions of the council make a lot more sense when you know they're all inbred as hell. Like, they obviously are running on the sort of nervous tension that, like, a purse dog chihuahua has at all times. If you think about it that way, it makes perfect sense. Everyone's flown away. No explanations? No goodbyes? Why do they always leave me behind? Well, we're the council now. Feels heavier than it looks. We have a distaff, the main tool of weaving. And here is the great loom. Those are the same 4 threads the swan spun on the elders. Still echoing in the loom. Of course, we can't play that because these are way too high for us to access right now. They are very high-level spells. But this egg... it's trying to open. This egg, however, is playing a little tune that we can access. So we play E, C, E, D. And the egg hatches. Thank goodness you're still here. Mother Hetchel, is that you? You know perfectly well it's me. I saw you watching us. What's been happening here, Hetchel? The whole village has flown away. I'd hoped the swan might come to save you. I never expected her to weave as much mischief as this. Save me? From what? From the elders. They were going to turn you into a swan as they tried to do to me. I like Hetchel's new look. It's adorable. Looks as if a signet was the best they could manage with these old bones. Why do the elders want to get rid of me? I haven't broken any rules. They fear you, Bobbin. But why should anyone be afraid of me? Ever since you came into our world, the elders have watched chaos spread across the pattern in the loom. I'll consider it. They believed, hoped, that your birth was the cause of this chaos, and that order might return if you were banished. Well, that sure as fuck didn't work out, now did it? But now the elders are banished, and you are still here. It only mean one thing. The pattern is failing of its own accord. Soon it will come to an end, and with it, all that is hemmed into its threads. So the actual fabric of reality is breaking down. Good to know. A third shadow is nigh. Is there any way to stop it? Stop chaos? The elders thought they could. Now they know better. So should you. If we can't stop the chaos, what can we do? We can embrace it, or escape. The Swan has rescued the rest of our guild from the coming time of darkness. The way before us now is clear. We must find out where our flock has flown and join them if we can. Everybody has color-coded robes, so they don't have trouble identifying each other. Also, there's only like 9 of them on the island. Or were. You've already found the Elder's distaff. Good. Never let it out of your grasp. You won't be able to weave very much with it at first, I expect, but as you gain practice, more and more of its power will reveal itself to you. Like, everybody is somebody's son in the Weaver's Guild, remember? Or daughter. As long as the distaff remains in your hands, I'll know you are safe. If you ever lose it, take heart. I'll come to help you if I can. Leave this island, Loom child. It's too small for you now. Your destiny lies beyond the sea. Mother Hetchel, where are you going? To follow the swans. Wish I knew why everyone keeps calling me Loom child. So, yeah, remember, nobody has told Bobbin basically anything about his life. Which I find funny now that we actually got the backstory. Also, maybe the pattern is weakening because birds keep ripping holes in it. I mean, you know, not to blame the birds, but... let's skedaddle out of here. I guess we gotta go this way. Just a moment while I... So what can I tell you about Loom? You mean the, beautiful graphic adventure directed by Brian Moriarty? Explain the plot. Oh, no. Okay, so... In the days of the Second Age of Shadow, when dragons still roamed... oh, no... I actually cannot read the entire backstory again. Bobbin Threadbare has lost his entire family and, you know, all of the Weaver's Guild to, you know, swans. Yeah, that's the plot. Swans.
Let's go.
Swans, let's go. The Age of the Great... I had never read the, I had never listened full... well, we can't get much done in here, it's all dark. But... there are a few tents we can enter, including this one. And this one includes... This is the Book of Patterns that Hetchel lets me read sometimes. Better take it with me. So, Bobbin now has the Book of Patterns. And that means, so do we. Just a moment. Here is our Book of Patterns, which, is going to overlay itself on the game screen when we need it. Sorry. This came physically in the game box. And... as it notes, this is your personal diary of spell weaving. As you learn new drafts, record the threads in this volume for future reference and study. Not all of the drafts listed here will be encountered in your travels. Most weavers actually use fewer than a dozen drafts in their entire lifetime. Nonetheless, by familiarizing yourself with the knowledge in these pages, you will be better prepared to deal with events unforeseen by the elders. A wise spellweaver always writes in pencil. Loom is incredibly easy to soft-lock yourself in if you ignore this, because aside from one draft, the draft of opening, every other draft in the game is randomized to some degree. And if you don't write it down, well, screw you. You should have written it down. I cannot, in fact, write on this version of the Book of Patterns. Like, I don't have a way to type into this PDF. So I have what you would call just a piece of paper and a pencil that I'm gonna write them down. You can call it my, my notebook. Yeah? Yeah? Huh? Yeah. It's funny, right? Okay. There are a bunch of extra spells that do nothing. No, there are not a bunch of extra spells that do nothing, but there are a bunch of extra spells you will never see in the game. For example, you will never cast the Weave of Shrinkage, but it's there for world building, for example. You will never do waterproofing, but it's there for world building. The 5,992 expedition of 5th Elder Spindershank to the rainforest of Lesser Uxbridge yielded this very practical draft, which shields any fabric from the effects of moisture. The Poison Galoshes Panic of 6003 almost resulted in a permanent ban on waterproofing, until it was revealed that magazine test reports had been rigged by the Guild of Umbrella Openers. I declare this world building. But yes, we will note down anything we need to. The Guild of Umbrella Openers, they open umbrellas. They have a good union. And the first to write down is right over here, in fact. It's bubbling. So now we know that dyeing is CDCE. Okay. And as long as nobody minds, yeah, the trilogy. I'm definitely going to cover that. Loom, Forge, and the Fold. And I think the reason it didn't happen is that Brian Moriarty got tired and didn't want to direct anymore. But let's take a look at that. Dyeing. This draft was perfected by the dye chemists of the Wound Socket chapter, who slaved for hours over steaming pots to satisfy the cleric's appetite for colorful vestures. Originally woven into all types of fabric, the applicability of the dyeing draft has diminished over the course of the centuries. Now it only works on wool. Honestly, when it comes to loom, well, one, if anybody ever tells you that JRPG backstories are overly complex, you whip loom out of your pants and you show it to them. Because we read through that transcript, and boy howdy, this has a complex backstory for what it is. Anyway, using dyeing, we can experiment. Here's a heap of undyed cloth. We can go... I changed the color. Congratulations, Bobbin. Anything you can do, you can undo. We go D, C, E, C. And it's back to white. This took me several months to work out as a child. I was stuck for quite a while because of that. I was like 7, so, you know. Let's collect another draft. I still have the manual over this. Yeah. That's gonna be a problem. I gotta remember, I gotta remember that. Anyway. Let's see, that's, what, G? I can't tell what note this is, actually. I think it's G. G, F, E. And that is emptying. G, F, E. G flip. Yeah. The thing is, I played this game several times without the audio cassette, and I got along fine. But, I don't know, I'm more willing to accept weird plot twists. Anyway, let's, go ahead and see what emptying is. Where is that in our book? Emptying. The contents of almost any filled container may be instantly unraveled with this handy draft. Before its development, c. 4200, the streams of wound socket ran green with the discarded dyes of the chemists. Avoid the temptation to spin emptying upon lakes or clouds. Its range is deliberately limited to prevent catastrophes such as the double deluge of 4202, for which the guild admits no responsibility. I have a feeling that this guild wouldn't admit a lot of responsibility in general. Anyway, if I ever leave the, thing over the thing, let me know. So, you know, it helps to pick up a bunch of, basics. Let's see. Folks ought to clean up after themselves. There's some darkness over here. I love the inventory icon for darkness, actually. This is also emote tier level illustrating. It goes right along with Celine's, like, troublemaker emote. Yeah, that one. But we can't see in the dark right now, so let's, check out the rest of the island a little bit. Get real used to this motif from Swan Lake, by the way. Let's see. There's a lot of seagulls. You will see these seagulls in a number of other LucasArts adventure games. I hear Return to Monkey Island has a shrine to them. ECED. That's the opening. Maybe they just want this clam open. Yeah. Yuck. Little dude was just hungry. But there's not a lot we can do down here right now. So let's, whoops. Let's not click over on the, OBS screen. Good, Celine. I'm always delighted when I can make you feel interlady. Or, you know, CDI-ish. There's an owl in there. This hole has an owl, too. Another owl. The woods are full of them. So that's DCC. But we don't have a fourth owl. Oh, here he is. Sound asleep. Believe me, I'm just as amazed that anybody wants to see this, 20-plus-year-old, no, more than 20-plus-year-old now, adventure game. Much less that I got requests for it. Much less that I currently have, like, 6 viewers, allegedly. It's amazing to me. Ouch. It's the circle of life. Poor little fella. Still, our brush with nature, red in tooth and claw, did get that hole filled. DCCD. Now, what can owls do? Well, we now have the, scroll, night vision spell. The threads of this distinctive and beautiful draft, DCCD, are extrapolated from the songs of nocturnal birds. At one point, night vision was prized by the Guild of Miners, whose legendary underground realm was chiefly illuminated by luminous tapestries bearing our seal. Tragically, demand fell off after the Great Earthquake of 730-31. So let me just make a note that that's night vision and, pause. That said, a graveyard over here. In memory of Lady Signa Threadbare, 9783 to 8004. Destiny shall draw the lightning down from heaven, roll its thunder far across the sea, to where I wait upon the shore of wonder, on the day the sky is opened and the tree is split asunder. That's ominous. You know, somebody has drawn a little picture of a tree, which is nice. Look, the guilds are kind of in decline. So hey, we have graves here, though. So let's, try the spell of opening. Surely that will go correctly. Maybe I'd better not try that. Yeah, so Bobbin unfortunately has a great deal of common sense. And he really struggles with getting killed in this game. I don't think there's any way to die in this game, which is unfortunate for me, but it does mean those die for me redemptions are completely valueless here. So don't even bother, guys. Yeah, this was back in the days when expecting the player to do a little bit of extra work by writing stuff down wasn't really that uncommon. Let's see. Are there things I can die for you instead? There are a few things I can die for you. I will die for you later, perhaps. Let's see. We've got a spinning wheel. And that is playing D, E, D, C, I believe. D, E, D, C. Yep. So we can, try that out right here. And that gains us enough experience in using our distaff that we've unlocked an extra note. We've unlocked F. This pile is spun. Yeah, but what if I don't like gold? Whoops. It's D. No, wait. Cancel. D, D, E, D. There we go, I fixed it. Back to straw again. So that is our straw to gold draft. Go ahead and take a look at that. Straw into gold. When times are lean, the elders may invoke this draft to generate extra revenue. Its use is strictly regulated by the treasurer of the guild to prevent inflation. Other guilds, ignorant in the ways of spell weaving, have concocted a variety of outlandish fairy tales involving this rather elementary weave. It's true, it's so easy that Bobbin can do it. Oh, you use the radioactive... Yeah, that'll get you killed. It's honestly fun for me to see how many ways you can get the Maniac Mansion kids killed. There's more than you'd expect. So, that is all of Loom Island. We've seen the entire island. That's everything on the island. Hedgel was right. This island is way too small for us. We should get out of here. And the only way we have... The only, information we have is that rather vague prophecy about the day the sky is opened and the tree is split asunder. So, let's go after prophecy. Celine, did you know that if you let Bernard fiddle with the copy protection on the locked door upstairs, he will always, auto-fail it by trying to crack it and blow up the house? It's kind of amusing. Bernard is enough of a nerd that he can't stop himself from pushing buttons. Let's open the sky. Is it over now? Loom is not entirely humorless. There's some genuinely funny stuff in here sometimes. A good sense of loomer, yeah. Thank you, Theria. That actually caused my brain to soft lock for a second. Good joke. Alright, so we've gotten everything we need. Let's go away. Daytona. Well, that's a complication. Don't want to get any closer to that. F, D, D, E. So Bobbin doesn't want to get any closer to this water spout. But what if we don't care? Well, Bobbin launched. Here we go again. So, let's, pop this open. Let's see, where is... Twisting. The origins of this ancient draft are long in history. Okay, good luck, Celine. The earliest references to it are woven into the foremost helm of the long tapestry, beside threads depicting the manipulation of flax and yarn by hand. Tradition has it that the four notes were derived from the rhythmic squeak of First Elder Swellflax's own spindle. So we have the draft of Twisting now. And remember, we can just... untwist. And there it goes. Nice and safe. A weaver is very powerful. And that leveled us up enough to get G. So we can now use that draft of emptying. Of course, we can't use it on the ocean or anything. That would be a bad idea. Well, let's explore a little bit. Who goes there? This runt was trying to sneak into our realm. Sneak? You call that sneaking? I heard him coming 2 hills away. Did your business with the Guild of Shepherds. I'm looking for a flock of swans? Swans. Right. Swans don't live in the woods, kid. Say, you don't suppose this is the wizard Fleece told us about, do you? He's dressed kind of like a wizard. Doesn't look very powerful to me. Come on, wizard, show us your stuff. Prove you're a wizard, or you're not getting any further. Unfortunately, we have nothing we can work with to prove we're a wizard, so... He's leaving. Not much of a wizard, eh? Better luck next time. Come on, fellas, back to work. You'll notice that they played, a little tune there. GC, GC. And that, too, is a draft we can use. That is... invisibility. I believe. When spun upon a person or group, invisibility frays the focus of their vision, rendering the spellweaver quite difficult to see. The provenance of the draft is uncertain. It seems to have been acquired, under questionable circumstances, from the Guild of Shepherds, whose genius in the art of stealth is probably unrivaled. We say probably unrivaled because we haven't caught anybody who's better than them yet. At least that's my take on it. Well, there were two paths to take. Let's head towards the other place. Good luck, Celine, and, hope you're back soon. Ah, man, this place is lovely. I always love this place. Wait a minute. Bobbin just wants to listen in on this. Who are these two guys, anyway? I can just make out what they're saying. I trust your excellency is pleased with our progress? That depends. How far ahead will I be able to see? At least 4 hours. With luck, maybe 6. 6 hours? I thought we agreed to 8. Each of the spheres is unique, Bishop Mandible. It is impossible to predict how deeply this particular sphere will look. I need to see at least 8 hours ahead. 8 hours. See to it, Master Crucible. The customer is always right. Is what most people say right before, ducking off to the back room to swear at them. Any mice? No, unfortunately not. Bobbin is curious about seeing ahead. Well, we might as well explore a little deeper. Where are we? Oops, here we are. Look out! One mouse! Why would you look out for one mouse? Like, I would look out for at least 2, maybe 3 mice. Alright, let's head back around. Check out that one smaller room. I tried to take a drink and accidentally whacked myself in the nose. I'm sorry. One moment, please. There we go. Well, this is nice. Let's say. That sounds like a tragic story for the mouse. Unfortunately, I can't do much to help. Can I not actually... Greetings, stranger. No, I guess I can't. Welcome to Crystal God. I am Master Goodmold, 31st in the Noble Guild of Glassmakers. Who have I the honor of meeting? My name's Bobbin Threadbare of the Noble Guild of Weavers. Guild of Weavers? I don't remember having a weaver visit us before. See now why your fabrics are so prized. The cloak you wear is unlike anything I have ever beheld. Remarkable workmanship. I'm afraid you will have to help that mouse, Tiger. Crystal Guard's wisdom includes many legends concerning your guild. One is particularly strange and amusing. They say it is death to peer beneath the hood of a weaver. Can this be true? Don't know. Nobody ever tried it on me. Ha! An unclear reply if I ever heard one. We value clarity here above all else. But fear not, your legend is safe with us. Imagine my relief. By the way, did you happen to notice a flock of swans passing this way? Swans? I've heard nothing of swan sightings. The city's been so busy of late, I doubt if anyone's had time for bird watching. However, our guild catalog offers a fine selection of binoculars, telescopes, and other precision optics that may help you in your search for swans. He's good at his job. Thanks, I'll browse through it later. I'm sure you'll be delighted. Look around as much as you want, Weaver Threadbare. But remember, you break it, you buy it. Exactly. Is his vision that bad? Possibly, yes. It may just be that he wears glasses as a status symbol. You know, like, I made these, I'm gonna wear them. Or it's possible it's to help counter the blinding green of everything here. These are uninteractable with. Oh, near this spot, Lucent Bottle Blower, founder of the Noble Guild of Glassmakers, attained his final clarity. Oh, and these are graves. Good to know. For some reason, I'm not allowed to click on this one. Big shrug there. There's a couple other places around the city that we can visit, though. As long as I can keep Bobbin moving. Actually, you know, it would make sense if your test for, like, glass-making mastery is to make glasses for yourself. Like, I can see something going on up top here. Let's see if we can get up there. What is this? A Green New Deal? Oh, that's possible. I don't really know that much about glass economics. Glass towers. There's a little glass bell in here. Wonder what'll happen if... My head is swimming. Look! Who are you? How did you get up here? Well, I rang this little bell, see, and... Sorry, kid. This is a restricted area. That means no visitors. Hit it, flute. The glass economy is probably fragile. Yeah. It's hard to break into something like that. Guess I'm not supposed to go up there. But this is an adventure game. We're not supposed to do something, it means we have to do it. We can just see those dudes from here. So let's, That felt right. I think it worked. Good. We've cast that invisibility spell on them. The, stealth spell we learned a little bit earlier. Let's try this again. Did you get a load of that Bishop Mandible? Wishing round here like he owns the place. What did the clerics want with a spear of scrying, anyway? Thought they didn't believe in the future. Your guess is as good as mine. Crucible thinks they're up to no good again. So why is he selling them one? You know, Crucible. He'd sell his own mother's spectacles if the terms were cash up front. Cash up front, woo. Fares ain't what you call cheap. They're working on something. Still, Crucible's not taking any chances. CDDA. That thing is sharp. He figures if the clerics are looking for trouble, we're gonna be ready. That's why yous and me's up here doing major overtime. Ouch. I see what you mean. Well, one look at this baby will make them clerics think twice about messing with us. Yeah, I'm sure your, like, giant display sky is very threatening. Where does this go? Oh. Well, this takes me right over here. Let's check out this, so-called sphere of seeing. Scrying. What do we got? We've got Bobbin and the Shepherds. He plays FCCF, and they all run away from him. That's interesting. Can we get anything more? Lots of fire. We'll put that with the other fire. And a swan, which plays the transformation tune. Well, that's actually it. Yeah, that's actually it. Okay. At least it lets me double check this. We've picked up 2 new weaves. Let's, consult the book on them. We've got Terror. This draft reweaves the Spellweaver's appearance into a form drawn from the deepest anxieties of the being the threads are spun upon. In effect, it turns you into the thing the recipient fears most. The Doomslayer. Terror works only on sentient beings, but its potency more than makes up for this limitation. It is approved for limited therapeutic use by the Guild of Psychotherapists. We also got, not up here. Sharpening. Scissors, pins, and knitting needles are the usual benefactors of this simple draft. In ancient times, however, warriors often submitted their blades to our guild members for treatment. A formal protest by the blacksmiths resulted in the Whetstone Bridge Treaty of 7550, which specifically prohibits the use of the sharpening drafts on weapons of war. I think we get to violate that later, but I'm getting ahead of myself there. Let's get out of here. We now know how to get past the shepherds, because we saw ourselves do it in the future. Which raises the question of where that draft came from, but you know what? I'm not going to be picky about this if you guys aren't. A little temporal paradox never hurt anybody. Except Marty McFly. Maybe that guy from Looper. Okay, temporal paradoxes have hurt a lot of people, actually, but I don't care. It won't hurt us. Because I'm always right, and I never lie. That's not true. I'll leave it to you guys to decide which part isn't true. I'm still writing stuff down? Oh, I am still writing stuff down. I can't show you my notebook, but it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 9 spells deep so far. Okay, go this way. Right, you have to go to the forest, not off the side. But yes, I am still writing stuff down. It's a complex game that way. Here they are again. He's back. So are we. Let's prove we've got actual power. F. E. E. F. Hey! Wow, they're afraid of dragons. Losers. What fun. Sheep? Sheepies are very flirty. E. F. G. A. What? What's the big idea? You've got my sheep all upset. Now I gotta round them up again. Come on, you guys, move it. A, G, F, E. A, G. I kinda love that little interaction. Obviously, this weave is the weave of sleep. Which is... It would be difficult to find a pillow, baby bonnet, or sleeping bag that has not been imbued with the soothing properties of this popular draft. The Guild of Nannies requires its use in all household fabrics, and the anesthesiologists have improved an industrial strength version as an alternative to chloroform. Yeah, there's 4 of everything in this game. It's kind of neat. Anyway, we've put that man to sleep. Comfortably, I hope. Bobbin really stands out against the grass here. Huh. And in here is... another sheep. Aw, a cute little lamb. Hello there. Who said that? I did. Oh. Who are you? I am she who sent for you. Huh? I am named Fleece, first chosen of the Guild of Shepherds. And you are obviously the mighty wizard I hired from the Guild of Mages. There must be some mistake. Your modesty is very charming, but there is no mistake. My border guards were extremely impressed with your display of magic power. What is the difference between a mage and a weaver? They did not tell me that you are also young and quite well-mannered. Okay, settle down there, ma'am. Were our plight not so serious, it might amuse me to know you better. Plight? One of our clients placed an order for 10,000 fattened sheep. That's enough to feed an army. I fear that may be exactly what the clerics have in mind. But we do not concern ourselves with how our customers use our products. They probably won't get their sheep anyway. No? Why not? Our local dragon seems to have acquired a taste for fresh mutton. Dragon. Our sheep are bred for extra whiteness. It can see them from miles away. Only a mage can save us from this winged pestilence. Thank you for answering my summons so quickly. Okay, so... mistaken for a mage. Check out this lamb again. Ah, you've noticed my little patient. Patient? She's sick? Very. I don't think she's going to make it. Her mother was carried off by the dragon the day after she gave birth. My songs of healing don't seem to be doing enough good. Songs? We shepherds are known for them, at least I thought we were. My grandsire taught me the magic notes. He said we got them from some other guild in exchange for the secret of stealth. CAAC. I guess I'm not very good yet. It is interesting to me that they deliberately made the healing draft acronymic, so you cannot cast it in a way that harms. You cannot, like, reverse heal people to death. Well, the flock has been led to pasture, wizard. Good luck with the dragon. Well, we don't have to do something stupid like trying to slay the dragon. There's a simple solution to this. Maybe I ought to stand a bit... yeah, you should get a bit closer there. Alright, middle of the flock. Here we go. Well, it was a very simple solution. Well, well, silly me. This is what I get for being in a hurry. Thought you felt a little scrawny. So this is the scene where I usually stop playing. I've seen up to the middle of the game much more than I've seen the end of the game. And it's all because I really dislike, well, let's talk to the dragon a little bit first. Where'd you get your manners? Stop staring at me, really! Was I staring? Sorry. Ah, forget it. Don't pay any attention to me. I get crabby on an empty stomach. Oh. Are you gonna incinerate me now? Incinerate you? My, aren't you the foxy one? You've come to the wrong lair if that's what you're after. Listen, sweetie, I haven't done fire since my last mating season, and you don't want to know how long ago that was. Those little tongues of flame running up and down my nostrils, please. Too much heat for this old reptile. You mean you can't breathe fire? Won't, honey. Doesn't fit my lifestyle. Just between you and me, the stuff gives me the willies. Ahem, sorry. My, koboldification button appears to share the same button as the subtitle speed button. That's a lot of buttons. Anyway, It will not surprise you. It will almost certainly not surprise you, actually, to know that I had a massive crush on this dragon in my youth. Her voice actress on the CD-ROM version being kind of hot didn't help. So I really regret what you have to do, but there's no way out of this cave. And it makes me sad. So I usually don't play past this part of the game much because I can't bring myself to do this most of the time. But in the name of showing off the game, just a moment. D C D. My, aren't we clever today? Let's put it back before you leave. This does, however, get us the A note. So, you remember how she's terrified of fire? Yeah. As seen in the crystal ball. So that's not just, we didn't just turn her entire hoard to straw. We burned it. That's a dick move, any way you look at it. Redbear, you're a dick. But now we can move on. Let me just... Alright. Darkness, please. A lot of game heroes are dicks. It's just that this particular one rubs at my craw. Or it would if I knew what a craw was. I think I've got a craw somewhere in here. Welcome to Loom's version of a maze, which isn't that much of a maze, really. Just keep proceeding and keep finding doors. Which I think we may have missed one. Nope, here we go. What's over here? Anything? Why do they reuse their dicks? That's a new angle. To me. Still, burning a dragon's hoard is kind of a low, but... Never fear, the dragon gets her own back later. This may be actually a fairly long stream if I... Oh dear, if I... I think I hit a dead end. Here we are. If I choose to play through the entire game in one sitting, this may be a longish stream. I may do that. It's not that long. It will take about 3 hours, I suspect. Which is one up from my usual, but I do need practice with longer streams. So I may go ahead. Whoop. Bye, Bobbin. Guess I won't be going back that way. F. Sorry, what was that? F. A. A. F. And as Bobbin notes, that is the spell of reflection. This draft was commissioned by the Guild of Dancers to expedite costume changes for their 500th anniversary performance of the classic ballet Olima. When properly invoked, the spell weaver immediately assumes the appearance of the being the draft is spun upon, and vice versa. The 4 threads are based upon the mating grunt of the slit-throated chameleon. So the slit-throated chameleon goes bah, bah. That's good to know. But there's a great big pool here, so let's... Another sphere. That's an erupting volcano. Good to know. There's that swan again. Like it's watching us. Or something. And there's the bishop being creepy. Let's, carry on. Can we, in fact, carry on? We can carry on just fine. Doesn't surprise me that we can carry on given this channel. Hmm. Well, that doesn't, repair costs must be spiraling. Thanks, Bobbin. Thanks for that. I'd forgotten that line. Anyway, we're not gonna get anywhere trying to walk across, so, yeah, there we go. That'll do it. Carry on my wayward mark. You can ride upon a hog. I really am quite sorry about that. Oh, hey, isn't this an ominous fucking looking room? Look, more graves. Hey there. Halt! Who goes there? Just me, a friendly stranger. A friendly stranger. Ha! This is a private guild, my strange young friend. The gate opens for members only. Now go away and play somewhere else. Okay. Not getting in that way. Cool. Excellent. Maybe there's something out here we can... Oh. The dead kid. Strange place to take a nap. Oh, he's just resting. Okay, let's see. E. Yawn. Caught me napping. Never saw anyone dressed like you before. Tiger, that's actually a really wild thing that I didn't consider. I've played Breath of Fire 2. Someday I'll have to go back to it. That's interesting. Just never thought about that much. What's your name? Bobbin Threadbare, of the Weavers. Weavers, huh? No wonder your cloak is so nice. My real name is Wellwrought, but everyone calls me Rusty. Rusty Nailbender. I'm supposed to be gathering firewood, but this platoon's been picked clean. What's your guild, Rusty? Follow me, I'll show you. That's us, the Guild of Blacksmiths. Never would have guessed. Our city's been here since before the Shadows. We call it the Forge. So what brings a weaver to these parts? I'm looking for a flock of swans. Did you see any pass this way? Sorry, no swans around here. Plenty of vultures, though. All this talk makes me sleepy. Wake me if you find your swans. Never seen one before. So, this is Rusty. Rusty was to be the protagonist of the second game in this series, which would have been called Forge. And it would have dealt with events after the ending of this game. That didn't happen. Brian Moriarty got really tired of game design, and nobody else at LucasArts wanted to do it, so the 2 sequel games to Loom never happened. I'll talk a little more about that later. They never officially like I said, later. Anyway, Rusty here is our first new best friend. He's the only person we've talked to who seems to like us, so let's betray his trust immediately. We'll just let him sleep. Head on in. Hail, young Nailbender. Hail. Toke is looking for you. He sure looks mad. You better get in there quickly. Let me open the gate for you. Let me just, nudge the subtitle speed a little slower again. I think I got it off balance with my koboldification earlier. You can't say the Guild of Blacksmiths doesn't have a really striking visual design, though. Like, dang, man. Place is, dare I say it, metal. No, that doesn't surprise me at all. I liked playing the fan retranslation of Breath of Fire 2. I haven't really gotten into the series much beyond that. Well. If it isn't my faithful, tireless apprentice, Rusty Nailbender. Hello, Mr. Stoke. And look, he's brought me a stick of wood. Exactly 1 crooked old stick of firewood from my poor, starving furnace. Firewood? You lazy idiot! I sent you out 4 hours ago to gather firewood, and you dare to come back with one lousy stick. Nice mutton chops, my dude. If your father wasn't the foreman, I'd toss you in the furnace. Lucky for you, he's downstairs with a bishop right now. That furnace goes out, the cleric's swords will be late. Perhaps you'd care to ask the bishop for forgiveness in person. Happy to arrange it. My god, man, you are just abusing sarcasm at this point. Give me that stick. I know what to do with you. I'll be back, Nailbender. And I won't be alone. Whoops. Locked, and me without a distaff. Well, that's a problem. Looks kinda comfortable. Yawn. This straw must have a sleep draft spun into it. Now let's make like Rusty and sleep through this. Can't do much from my distaff anyway. Nori. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Imagine frightening a poor, defenseless old thing like me, honestly. Well, I may not be much good with fire, sweetie. But young, firm meat is something I can really sink my teeth into. Huh? My robe's not reflecting anymore. Something must have happened to Rusty. Hope he's okay. So would you argue that Bobbin is culpable in Rusty's death? It wasn't like premeditated murder or anything, but we definitely got our first new friend ever killed. Look at this. One stick of wood left. One! Furnace won't keep much longer. $10,000 swords to forge, and the furnace almost cold. Aye. Here goes my new office furniture. Oh man, poor Rusty. Wow. Skeletonized. That Weaver kid did this to me! Now I have to wait outside. If I ever get my hands on him... Back to the pattern, that was easy. Pity that someone has to die for me to return. Dragon. Poor child. Now where can Bobbin have gone? Couldn't be there. Those Smiths are a suspicious lot. They'd never let a Weaver inside. Uh-oh. Perhaps I ought to look into this. The things I go through. What would Elder Atropos say if he saw his distaff treated so? Got it. Mother singed the feathers. So Hedgehog completely saves our ass there. Now I'm back in business. Sadly, I really doubt that you'll get that much attention. Although it would be neat if you could get an outfit like this as a weaver in 14. Swords, not words. Oh, hello. Coming to have our conversation directly in front of the camera? Hard to be nosy with all this noise. Good thing they have to shout to hear themselves. The final blade is being sharpened even as we speak, Your Excellency. My most skillful blade shaper is seeing to it personally. Then this is a historic moment, Foreman Nailbender. The forging of the 10,000th sword makes the end of our preparations. So there are two numbers here, 4 and 10,000. How goes the sharpening edgewise? This metal is proud, Foreman. It does not yield easily. More sweat will soften it, I trust. It shall be a blade to be reckoned with. Well now, let's just blunt that blade. Foreman, what evil is this? A witch's curse has befallen the blade. The edge has been mischievously blunted. A curse, edgewise? I think not. I'd hate to believe that a witch's curse could so thoroughly ruin my schedule. You don't suppose that fellow who's been spying on us has anything to do with it? 'Cause we are busted. Perhaps he'd care to accompany me back to my cathedral. I may have new curses to teach him. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Bishop Mandible, trans-ultimate apostle of the anti-secular conclave of clerics. Conclave of clerics. Try saying that 5 minutes fast. Am I supposed to kneel or something? Silence, prisoner. My assistant, Cobb. Charming. Your cloak and staff betray your origin. I studied the lore of your guild at university. It's been a long time since any weaver dared set foot off that dreary rock you call home. LOOM, so provincial. I can't help but wonder what impelled you to leave it now. His Excellency asked you a question. I know, I'm ignoring it. Ah, recalcitrance, I see. Shall I fetch the instruments of persuasion, Excellence? Forgive the hostility of my assistant. I fear Cobb is not very worldly. Yes, Cobb hasn't studied World War 101. He does not realize how dangerous a weaver can be. Dangerous? Him? Do you think this iron cage of yours is enough to hold the boy captive? Why, he could burst it wide open with hardly a second thought. But Excellency, I inspect the locks every Tuesday. Observe and learn, my servant. Even now your prisoner plans his escape. Before we indulge him, I just want to see if I just want to drop a quick save, just in case. Because, this is not a place you can die. There is no place you can die. But we are running up on 2 hours, and I never know if something's gonna crash. Toonstruck did. But, yeah. Let's get out of here. You see, Cobb, an elusive breed, these weavers. Luckily, they are quite helpless without their weaving sticks. Give me that. You dare raise your voice at His Excellency? Now, Cobb, we mustn't be rude to our guest. Not after he was kind enough to bring us such a magnificent gift. Mandible, that distaff will never work for you. You are wrong, my arrogant young friend. Come, let me show you why. You heard the Exalted One. Move it! Consider the common graveyard. In a graveyard, the boundary between the living and dead is indistinct. You weavers would say the pattern here is fragile, then it's gauze. Not just here, every graveyard is like that. I suspected as much. Now imagine what might happen if this delicate boundary was somehow breached. Torn open, so to speak. Forget it, Mandible. You can't just rip the pattern apart like an old rag. But I can! All I require is a weaver's distaff, and the 4 threads of an opening draft. Thank you for supplying both so readily. When the boundary is breached, the dead will stream back onto the plane of the living, eager to reclaim their place among us, and I will be waiting for them, ready to offer my vast expertise in spiritual leadership. I shall preside over a teeming multitude of restless shades, immortal, invincible, an army of the dead, with myself as its supreme commander. An army nourished by the meat of the shepherds, armed with the swords of the blacksmiths, and guided by the sphere of the glassmakers. I was preparing to invoke the dead by other, more forceful means. Then the glassmakers delivered my sphere. It foretold your convenient arrival. Now it shows me the smith repairing the sword you tried to ruin. The age of the clerics will soon be upon us. Cobb, don't let him out of your sight. I won't, Excellency. And don't let him touch anything. Lord Mandible, ruler of the universe! Time to change my stationery. I love a good villain rant, I really do. Not so dangerous now, are ya? I really love doing a good villain rant. Seriously. Oh, hello. You friendly? Looks hungry. Okay, maybe not. Keep away from that, you! His Excellence said not to touch anything. I wasn't going to touch it. Just looking, that's all. Just looking, eh? So here, is where there is a bonus scene in the CD-ROM version. And also if you're playing on hard mode. We're not going to see it, but, I think that works in favor of the story. I'll describe it after we're done. Tell you what. I'll let you look into the sphere if you let me look at something. Ahem. What did you have in mind? Legends say it is death to gaze upon a weaver uncloaked. Naturally, we clerics pay little heed to such foolish rumors. Still, I'm curious. I'll let you look into this sphere if you let me lift your hood. Deal? I wouldn't try that if I were you. Why not? There's nothing to fear under that fine robe of yours, is there? If you fear nothing, then you'd better not touch me. Ah, a riddle. I like riddles. Let's answer this little riddle once and for all, shall we? Fools? How am I supposed to invoke the dead with all that screaming in there? Layman. Can't say I didn't warn him. So in the hard mode, or on the CD-ROM version, you get to see Cobb pull back Bobbin's hood, and there's just this singularity of light under there. And the light spills out, engulfs Cobb, and drags him and his skeleton screaming beneath Bobbin's hood, and then Bobbin puts his hood back up. Honestly, I think the cutaway works so much better. It leaves that kernel of mystery. And I don't know, it really, I don't know. Sometimes not seeing what happened is better than seeing what happened, you know? Anyway, you can probably find that scene on YouTube if you're curious. But yeah, that scene really does read a lot differently, to a more grown-up me. It definitely comes as Cobb, like, urgently questing for some Weaver dick. I wonder, is it just the head area, or... let's not ask questions. Check out the sphere. Oh, there's that swan again. Anything else? Happy Thanksgiving, everybody! Happy Thanksgiving! And a feather. A single black feather. Huh, well, that's not ominous. Anyway, let's go stop the bishop's evil plan. Hey. I see Cobb is being lax in his duties. No matter. You're just in time to witness the dawn of a new era. You don't know what you're doing, Mandible. The pattern is worn enough already. If you rip a hole in it now... Spare me your Weaver mysticism. You're raising the dead! No more shall the dead envy the living. Weaver mysticism. You're fucking opening a graveyard. Wow! You must have opened everything within 50 miles of here. Including the eyes of the dead. Behold! I have a very bad feeling about this. Who dares disturb the peace of those who sleep? Greetings, noble spirit. I am Bishop Mandible, trans-ultimate apostle of the anti-secular conclave of clerics. Who have I the honor of summoning? I am Chaos. Join me. I see it has been too long since my last visit. Can't seem to hold on to this thing. Yeah, that plan went well for him. Let's see if we can figure out a way out of here. Can't go that way. Can't go that way. Yipes. So, we are now, outside the boundaries of reality, looking at the many rips in the fabric of it. Let's do a little patch job, you know? No, that's wrong. Hold on. Yes, that is an address. Let's see. D, E, D, D. Uh... Oh, D-E-C-E. Okay, I think I was just... Yeah, my, like, mildly dyslexic or whatever ass was reading the opening draft wrong. Well, let's see what's through hole number 1. Better not wander too far. Well, look who's here. Rusty? My old pal, Bobbin Threadbare. Rusty, this is awful. How did it happen? Well, Bobbin, old buddy, I think it went something like this. I'm lying here, minding my own business, when this strange new kid shows up and decides he wants to switch clothes with me. I figure, hey, so what? Have a little fun, right? We can always switch back again later. So this kid walks away looking just like me. Fine. Only one problem. The kid forgets to mention he has a 40-foot dragon out to get him. And what happens when that very same dragon sees me lying here, looking just like you? This is one of my favorite portraits in the game, by the way. I don't know what to say. Anyway, I end up like this. Dead. So I go outside to wait for doomsday like a good little ghost. And what do you suppose happens then? Gulp. Some idiot rips the universe apart and hauls us all back inside. A lot of dead ones are really upset. That's understandable. In fact, some of them have decided to take over the world. Starting with my hometown. Well, we kind of fucked Rusty's life all up, huh? Torn to pieces. Ugh. At the very least, we can try to make it up to him? We have that healing draft. We're just high enough level to cast. There we go, all fixed, all better. You did it. You brought me back? That's what you want, isn't it? You can bring people back? From the dead? You were hurt. I healed you, that's all. I guess I ought to thank you. Don't. It's all my fault anyway. Can you come with me, Bobbin? I've got to find out what happened to the rest of my guild. Sorry, I have to do the same thing. Good luck, though. And be careful. You too. Good luck, my friend? And off goes Rusty. This is where, I believe, the story of Forge, Game 2 in the Loom trilogy, would have picked up, with Rusty going off to try to save his guild and, you know, all of his adventures. This is, in fact, where Fangame Forge picked up. They made one chapter of it, and then they disbanded because, well, you know, fan projects. But someday I may have to actually play that game. It will break my heart to reach the end of Chapter 1 and realize there is no more, but maybe we could, you know, look at what they put together. Maybe we should see how it is. I do love Loom, and I've never played the fan game, so maybe one day we will check that out. Anyway, there is still a big gaping hole in reality, and we've helped Rusty out, so let's go ahead and fix that. What's up next? Oh, yeah, that's bad too. Fire, flames. Hey! Hey! Never had a chance. You are too late, wizard. The dead increase their numbers here. My song's useless. Those few not killed are suffering. At least we can end their misery. Extend your powers if you can. Yeah, we can, we can pitch in. Please, what happened? We were overrun. You were saved by the mercy of yonder boy. Yonder boy, what is the secret of your power? Its power has grown since last we met. Shepherds have long memories, wizard. I shall not forget your kindness. Come before the dead ones return to reap us again. If I'm correct, the third game in the Loom trilogy would have been called The Fold, and would have focused on her and the Shepherd's Guild. But that had even less of a plot idea than Brian Moriarty, that had less of a plot idea from Brian Moriarty than The Forge did. That game was really just like some back-of-the-envelope sketches. Fabric of reality restored. Let's bob over this way. Hey, we're bobbing now. Because we're bobbing in space. Yeah, okay. The alternate title to the stream was going to be like Bobbin and Weaving with Loom. But, I spared you all. Master Goodmold, you're hurt. Ah, Weaver Boy. Returned? You at least have escaped the attention of the dead ones. Crystal Guard, not so fortunate. I don't understand. You're the keepers of the Great Scythe. Why didn't you use it? We never doubted that the Scythe could save us. Even the dead would have fallen in the wake of its wrath. But to unleash such merciless evil would make us as cowardly as they. We wished not to become like our enemy. What, dead because you did? And so we stayed our hand. We knew the price. Can I do anything? Remember us, my young friend. Tell the world we fought with courage and chose death with clarity. Above all else, clarity. And he conveniently evaporates so we can't heal him. Also, I love how here in particular, you can see the spatial distortion from the rip. Just pushing everything away. I love this. This art is just so... This is such a beautiful game in every way. Right? You know the drill. That gives us the B note. I don't think we have shit that uses the B note. Alright, what else is outside of reality in liminal space? We've been expecting you, Bobbin. Oh, yeah, okay, outside of reality, it's Swan Lake. Welcome. Where am I? What is this place? Outside the pattern. Home of the dead and of those transcended. The shore of wonder. Yes, Bobbin, and you are the first to behold it with mortal eyes. Cool. Very nice. Very wet. You must have many questions, Bobbin. Perhaps I can answer some of them. You're the swan that came to visit me on my birthdays, aren't you? You saw me clearly then. I was never quite sure. The elders forbade me to set foot on Loom Island, but they said nothing about flying over it. Once a year, I managed to gain enough strength to pass inside for a few brief moments. Those are the times you saw me. You are wondering why I should bother to visit at all, and only on your birthdays? Call it a mother's curiosity. I am indeed drinking, apple and lemon cider, flavored seltzer. In life, I was Lady Signa Threadbare, banished by the elders for drawing an unforeseen infant out of the loom 17 long years ago. I've missed you, my son. Liar. My mother is buried in the cemetery. I visit her gravestone every day. Hetchel's doing, no doubt. She and the elders put that there so you wouldn't ask too many questions. Hetchel vowed to protect you forever. She loves you very much, Bobbin. But I fear her love has driven her to recklessness. What do you mean? Where is she? She has set off for the island and the Loom Sanctuary. The dead ones are right behind her. Their leader knows of the Loom's power. If he learns its secrets, the pattern itself will be his to manipulate. Who knows what havoc he might wreak? Hetchel hopes to reach the Loom before him. She intends to destroy it. If chaos doesn't consume her first. No, I have to get back there. You won't get far in that direction. The Loom lies beyond the lake. Any other pertinent information? Her eyes are just like mine. No, not really. I'm sure people thought to tell Bobbin that. They thought it would be a great idea to raise, like, a 17-year-old Loom-born prophecy kid completely in ignorance. Like that one guy from, Kung Fu or whatever the movie is, where it's like, we purposely trained him wrong as a joke. Bobbin is what you get if that happens. You know, in a serious story. We sadly can't close this distortion. But we know where we have to go. Oh. Well, that's a new addition to the island. No long hallway, straight to the loom itself. To the loom itself. Okay, now what? Yeah, I can't play that note. Look out! Uh-oh. Bobbin, get your distaff ready! Mother Hetchel? There's not a moment to lose. You must unmake the loom now, Bobbin, before the dead ones take control. Wow, I don't know what draft to spin. It is just as well, young weaver. Birds and children have no business wielding such power. My informants told me that all of the weavers had fled. I see they were mistaken. Destiny has been kind, my young friend. You will live to pass on your guild secrets to others more worthy of the knowledge. In the CD-ROM version, Chaos has a lovely female voice. It's booming and super villainous. Super villainous-ish. And it's great. I recommend finding the CD version on YouTube and listening to just her lines. In return, you'll be allowed to serve my new empire as advisor. Naturally, I expect your full cooperation in this historic exchange of goodwill. Anything less will risk harm to our relationship. It's not very chaotic. Don't listen to him, Bobbin. The threads to unmake the loom are... Silence. Hetchel? Hetchel, what's the matter? Say something. What did you do to her? Do not approach too closely, Weaver. I lose patience easily in the proximity of inferior beings. You will now instruct me in the use of this fascinating instrument. Over my dead body? Preference noted. Yeah, this is the end game. Strange, her beak is moving, but she can't make a sound. BAGF. So we've got the draft of silence going on. Silence is... Silence was hailed as a welcome relief for first-time parents and dwellers in college dormitories. Unfortunately, our guild members are too often hired to spin these threads in situations of doubtful appropriateness. The worst offender is the Guild of Conductors, whose members frequently impose a draft of silence over their audience before a concert. I would never do that to you guys. I value you too much. I do hope that, you have a chance to watch the ending of this sometime, Celine. It's quite lovely. Anyway, the reverse of silence will fix Hetchel. Thank goodness, I can talk again. Unmake the loom, Bobbin, quickly. Not that she's told us how to do that. I can't distract this creature much longer. You've turned up at exactly the wrong moment, Detherian. I'm sorry. I need the threads, Mother Hetchel. Tell me which four to use. Ducks are meant to be eaten, not heard. I believe we were discussing the secrets of the loom. Poor Hetchel. Maybe we can, just heal her. That didn't help. She must be under some kind of magic spell. Yeah, a different magic spell from the... BCBC. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea which draft that is. But let's see, do I have anything that could fix? Well, no, that would be CBCB. Okay, C. That's the only reason I haven't pulled up the browser, is I don't know what draft that is. It may be something only Chaos can do. Be gone from this chamber, evil one. The loom shall never be yours. This boy holds the power to destroy it. I fucking wish Hetchel would, tell us what it is, but I don't think she knows either. I do? Shh. Close your eyes now, little Bobbin, but keep your ears open. This bird has annoyed me once too often. Here descends the third shadow. I do know what draft that was, though. Unmaking. Novices are often impatient to acquire the undeniably dramatic ability to unmake physical objects. Luckily, these volatile threads lie well beyond the grasp of all but the most mature spellweavers. Entire armies can and have been disembodied by the trans-awesome power of unmaking. I like this term, trans-awesome. I propose that we just quietly borrow it. Let us hope we are never again called upon to demonstrate our craft in this matter. So, here lies Hetchel, who gave her life. Hetchel's feather, it's still there. So it is, young weaver. I shall keep it as a souvenir of our encounter. You leave that feather alone. Make me. That's awfully immature for Chaos. A, B, B, A. What? The sacred notes to unmake reality are ABBA. I'm just gonna leave that there for a second. Bobbin! Bobbin, you did it! The loom is unmade, beyond evil's reach. Ignorant fools, what have you done? None of us can pass across this rift your weaver mischief has so blindly created. Your pious meddling has fooled my dreams of an eternal empire, bound together under one rule. Mine. The dead one is correct, my son. Your final draft tore the pattern in half. This is a sad fate indeed for the innocents trapped on the other side. However, it is also a chance for we, on this side, to begin a second pattern, cleansed of wickedness. Come, it is time for us to weave our destinies anew. But we can't just abandon half the universe. I fear we have no choice. Until our side of the pattern is mended, we cannot return to the other. Take your rightful place among us now. There's one draft left to play. And it's the other draft that's been in the Book of Patterns since the beginning. Transcendence. Few indeed are the weavers who have successfully spun this, the most subtle and mysterious expression of our art. Transcendence dissolves the ties that bind our threads into the pattern, elevating mind and body to an undefined state of existence. Transcended beings are said to assume the form of birds, constellations, or even sunspots. Because corporeal punishment is forbidden in our guild, transcendence is occasionally used as a mean of humane banishment, but only for the most unforgivable infractions of the rules. Yeah, my ass, you guys cast transcendence at the drop of a hat. Anyway, it's time to leave this plane of reality. I suppose I ought to point at something first. Can I point at myself? Leaving so soon, Weaver boy. Whoa. Whiffed with that, guide blade. Whoop. Still up. Shoot. Chaos threw the scythe at us, and it just sort of flew off into space. I'm sorry about that, actually. I wish that hadn't been the case. And now I need to check it again, real quick. C#, F, G, C. Okay. Fly away while you can, Weaver boy. One day we will meet again. Bobbin, it's time. Oh, that's an octave of... Well, you know, I'm bad at... I don't really know musical notes. I only took clarinet for a few years. So let's just rip off our half of reality and leave with it. And naturally, that's where the sky sticks. Believe me, Ditharian, you should really watch this VOD from the beginning. Animated by Steve Purcell, creator of Sam & Max. So, as I said, there were supposed to be sequels. And... well, I'll talk after this. The Swan Lake is nice. There is no way Maniac Maxo is that dude's real name. Yes, I did, believe me, I took many notes. So that was Loom, everybody. As I keep saying, there were supposed to be sequels, and in those sequels, Bobbin would have appeared to Rusty and to the Shepherds as, you know, a ghostly swan apparition, as his mother Cigna was to him. But because those sequels never got made, Loom ends with the Weavers taking the half of reality that is untouched by chaos and just fucking off with it to somewhere else. And, are the Weavers dicks? Like, nothing we've seen of the Weaver Council or any of the Weavers, except possibly Hetchel, suggests that they would do anything remotely helpful if they had stayed to fight chaos. So, I don't know, man. Because we did not get those sequels, this ending has a much different tone to me than if we had gotten those sequels. If we had seen the Weavers actually do something useful to fight back. I don't know. It just always strikes me like, wow, they just leave. That's all. Anyway, Celine is probably waiting for us to raid into her. I'd like to thank all of you for attending. I think this was really fun to go through. I got to look at it with fresh eyes. I haven't played this game since I was 12 or 13. I missed a lot of stuff, and this was really a beautiful game. I really, really do like this game, and I'm glad you all enjoyed it. I'd like to thank the Kupo for suggesting this game via the Suggest a Game feature, which you too can use, if you choose. But for now, I'm going to open my browser window and mute it and get us raided over into Celine's place so that she can show us what she's working on. Whatever that may be. Let's go visit the Warm Fuzzy game room, everyone. Or rather, why don't you guys go visit the Warm Fuzzy game room, and I'm gonna go refresh my drinks and other biological needs, and I will catch up with you. Goodbye, everybody.